I let you sit on this bench first because you marked it. Otherwise, you're blocking this beautiful building at the back. Hello, Patrizio.
Hello.
Where are we?
We are in Valencia, right in front of the City of Arts and Science, and we are on this beautiful bench to have a beautiful conversation.
Nice. That's, I think, the shortest intro we had so far. But, guys, for everyone watching and listening, you don't want to know how happy I am that I'm sitting here without a jacket on, in the sun. I think it's already 22 degrees. I always start with a weather update so people get a sense of what I'm suffering
Yeah.
for or not. But yes, as you can see, we're in beautiful Valencia. I'm actually here for several weeks with my family, and I did a shout out to the community like, hey, who's out there who would love to connect, share a story? And this fine gentleman next to me reached out, did a shout out. I would be up for it. And here we are. Thank you, Instagram.
Yeah.
Um, we're in Valencia here to have this conversation about life and why you chose Valencia as a place to live. We're in a beautiful Turia Park. It's the 29th of February. It's amazing that this weather is in February. And yeah, we're going to go deep dive into it and touch upon different things. Could you tell us a bit more about how long you've been here, living here, and where you're originally from?
Yeah, sure. So I wanted to intervene to say, look, when you were talking about the weather, look, it's the 29th of February, like it's insane.
Yeah.
And this is a big reason why we are in Valencia.
I'm already sweating in February.
Yeah. So I am originally from Italy, from Rome. I've been traveling the world over the last 7, 8 years, more or less, both for personal reasons and for work. And now I've been living because I'm here with my family, my wife and my son. And we've been living in Valencia for 2 years now. We are fully Valencianos, but we've been going back and forth for 3 years for work-related reasons. So, but now 2 years on here in Valencia, so it feels good. The weather is almost always like this, huh? So,
Okay, I'm jealous, being from the Netherlands. And how do you like it so far? Are you having a good time?
yeah, we are having a really good time. So of course, like it's been different here in Valencia with respect to the other experiences that I had in my life, because we moved here already with a son. So it's a different approach. We were discussing a bit before this about how different it is when you just move abroad. If you have the privilege to be able to just travel, take, I don't know, I used to do like I would move to a place and I would rent out like 4 days in a hostel, like shared bedroom, 15 people,
Bunk
and
beds.
yeah, and like for 4 days, and it's like, okay, this is the deadline. I have to find a place, I have to find a way to stay in these 4 days, otherwise I'll move forward. And so like moving here, it was very different because it was okay, let's go for a few weeks, look for a place to stay because we are with the baby now. It's two of us, it's not just me. And we have Enea, is the name of my son. So like we have to be careful about it. Maybe not making it a life choice, as we were saying, but a more reasoned one.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we've been feeling good. Like people are great. It's also different for us now to make connections because of the baby. Like
Playgrounds.
yeah, it's playground friendship with the with the parents of the kids. So it's not always that you are trying to connect with someone that you know that you have something in common beside you both have a kid.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more difficult maybe to find the right people to click in.
Yeah.
But still, like
Because you only talk about diapers and teeth and
exactly.
And
And you
might
talk.
not be your topics, you know.
No, but you also like talk only about that, and it seems like there's a connection because I mean, who doesn't hate changing diapers? Like we already have something in common, no? And but then you try to move on from those things, and you realize that more often than not, maybe you were connecting with someone very different from you. That it doesn't need to be like a negative, but still like maybe without the sun I wouldn't be connecting with this person. So like to create your small circle, your community, I find it a little bit more difficult
Yeah.
than before. But the people we met so far are amazing. We knew the city. We live close to the Turia, even though on the other side, close to the biopark. So like I like running, so like that I can wake up and I have this
it's
10
amazing.
kilometers long park where I can run every morning. It's amazing. It's a city really into sports, and it's something that I'm really into lately. So the weather is nice, the food is good. It's well connected, Valencia, with the rest of of Europe. Like it's not the biggest hub in Europe or in Spain, but it's well connected. So far so good.
And why choose why Valencia?
So me and my
It could be any other city in Spain.
That's very, very true. So me and my wife, when we met, we actually like we're both Italian. We met in Italy like 12 years ago, and we never talked to each other up to 5 years ago, when I was living in
You
Lithuania.
never talk to each other?
Never. Like I was, like texting her on social media every now and then, and she was ignoring me. So I only wanted her more, like this kind of stuff. And but up until 5 years ago, I was living in Lithuania at the time, and like we reconnected. I was about to move to Gran Canaria, to Las Palmas, for work.
Okay.
She wanted a change. So like I stopped by Rome for a few days. We met after 10 years. It was at the time like 9, 10 years. And so like I moved to Gran Canaria. She moved there with me. And so we lived there. We ended up living there for a year. And then we moved back to Italy, not to Rome, but to Sardinia for work. And we wanted to move back to Spain for quality of life. We also wanted to open our own organization. So like we thought, okay, Gran Canaria is really far. It's like a 4.5 hour flight from Rome.
Yeah.
So, our families are growing older, all this kind of stuff. We want to be able to get there fast if anything happens. So, but we want to move back to Spain. What do we value? Nice weather, that we don't need to use the car, we can walk, a lot of green spaces, very relaxed way of living.
Yeah.
And I've actually been to Valencia like 10 years before, once for a holiday, like 5 days, and I remember that it was amazing, and she'd never been to Valencia before. So like I told her, look, let's go, check the city for a week. If we don't like the vibes, we keep looking, but I think that could be a good compromise for what we're looking for. And we came here for a week, and like the first night she told me, okay, like we can move here, it's fine, I like the city. We were going around biking, and it was love at first sight. And it was also relevant, like the position of Valencia for what we do for work. So it looked like all the planets were aligning for the right thing, and so we decided to move here.
Beautiful. By the way, she's sitting next to the camera, so that's why he's always sometimes looking.
I'm sorry for that.
No worries. But it's nice how you tell this story and then you make connection. Is it your wife? Your girlfriend?
Wife.
Wife.
Yeah.
Wife. Before I say something, yeah, it's beautiful to see, because it's also it's not the decision you make yourself, although you would love to. You always make those decisions, the two of you. Your kid doesn't know yet, so he can't say anything about it. But it's nice that you look for these, the yeah, we did it. You know, like we've done it. We made a move together, and it's fun to look back on how that went. Um, I touch upon it as well. You know, I made a choice with my girlfriend to move to The Hague. It was within a month time that we made a decision and just moved. But yeah, taking away that heaviness of a decision, yeah, you can always go back, right? I
Yeah,
think you can always go back to Rome or to Canary Islands or
a
maybe
lot of
not.
places.
You can go to anywhere else, of course. So, but it's nice to hear your side of what for you quality of life is, because I think because quality of life is different to many people.
It's very very different.
For some, quality of life is being around family, which when you move abroad is not the case,
But
especially
it's
for Italians.
yeah, we're really close. But you know what? It's the I think it's a bit of everything, like quality of life. No, it's a bit of
Yeah.
having your family close or having real connection with your family. A bit of your small circle or your friends. Maybe you are someone with a lot of friends, so it's a bigger circle.
Yeah.
Um, and the people you work with, financial stability, is the quality of life in the city. Can I walk? Can I bike? Can I run? Do I have to move with the car? Does it has an airport that I can use? You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
it's a bit of everything, of all these things, and you just at some point you need to try, and I wouldn't say like to go to the chalkboard and try a pros and cons list, but it's a bit of like, okay, so what do I value most in this moment of my life? Like we talked about families, like my parents are growing older for sure, but they're relatively healthy. My sister, my nieces, so I know that I cannot say that I know that I will have time with them because no one ever knows that, but
Yeah.
I can assume that there will be time, and if I need to be closer to them, or if I want to be closer to them, I'll have time. So maybe there is something that in this moment of my life I can put like behind someone else that right now feels
Mm.
like something that is driving me every day. Like honestly, whenever we go back to Rome, there is a very chaotic city. Moving with public transportation,
Yeah.
walking, biking,
Yeah.
is super tough. And like whenever we go back for a week, 10 days, it's always so stressful, and it takes out from my everyday life.
Yeah.
My hours. I mean, the fact that I could be closer to my family, but then still like never seen them because I don't want to drive 45 minutes, 1 hour in the traffic, and get angry, and I get there and I'm stressed and I'm tired, and
Yeah.
at the
You're not
first thing that
present.
someone says, I'm gonna snap, and so it will never be quality time with me and my family in this scenario, in this moment of my life,
Hmm.
you know. And
Interesting.
I feel kind of the same also with my friends. Like I could be closer to some of my older friends. Still, like when I was living in Rome, no, well, when I was living in Rome before starting to travel a lot and to live abroad a lot, we were seeing each other very, very often. But uh, in between all these travels, we got back to Rome for 1 year when my wife was pregnant, and still, like it's not like we were together every day or every 2 days,
Mhm.
because of this, because we're working,
Yeah.
traffic.
Yeah. The rat
It's
race. Yeah.
yeah, I don't have the car tonight, and I have no means of getting where we need to be, no. So it's again, it's like you do a bit of an evaluation, an overall evaluation, and you think, okay, right now, in this moment of my life, I value being able to spend time with my new family, so like my wife, my son, to work at something that I love, and not to be stressed out by external factors. So like I don't want something else that I have absolutely no control over it
Mhm.
to bring something that will disrupt the the peace that we built inside our house. So in this moment, this is something that I value a lot. Might be that in 5 years it will be different. I don't know. Like 5 years ago, I thought that I would never get married and have kids. So and here we are.
Because she didn't reply.
Yeah. I mean, I knew if she was not replying to me,
Not
like,
replying. Help.
yeah,
What do I need to do with my life?
exactly.
That's what you call a man on a mission.
A bit.
Nice. I like it. It's what you just described really resonates with me also a lot because I think that we're in the same phase of life where I do think I'm a bit older, but it doesn't matter. But you know, you have a
I
young.
look young, but I'm not
Okay.
that young.
He looks young, or I make you look young, maybe. No, where your kid is, you know, only a few years old, and suddenly that's a new experience in life, and you suddenly, you know, like organize and structure your life around that, and suddenly it's your family. Yeah, I was writing out my annual goals this year, and the first one I wrote down was you know, happy family, as in everything you do it should be you know, towards that. And struggling because, you know, at the same time you have to work, you got your ambitions, you got your dreams, you got, you know, the creative stuff, projects you want to pick and do, and but then there's so little time in a day, you know, so you really, even now being here for a couple of weeks where we decided, okay, it's not just a holiday, we really want to work and meet people and you know, just live here. That's already challenging with like not having daycare around, you know, and you take care of your kids. And so yeah, you have to find a balance between you know, being present with your family and at the same time follow your goals and ambitions and dreams.
It's
Yeah.
very, very difficult.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But they say that it will get better.
Hopefully.
After a
sooner or
couple of
later.
years, sooner or later, it will all figure it out itself.
I can
And-
imagine that once we get to sleep again, it will get better because we will be like sharper and more focused.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see. We're almost there. Always over 2 years, our son. So they say after 3 years, they.
Yeah, yeah. And
So-
I'm just starting, so let's let's see. Yeah, it's interesting that how you describe it though, and you also mentioned the word expat, is that is Valencia, you already think a short period in life or a matter of a couple years and you might return? Because also, like calling yourself an expat, a lot of people refer to an expat as somebody that comes and somebody that goes,
Yeah.
right? Whereas you could be, yeah. It's also why I started this channel, to figure out that word expat and why people use it. Some it's very clear because they come and go. Others that really, you know, try for something. It's open ended, and we'll see where it goes. How do you see it?
I see it for us as open-ended. So, like, I also use that word because I've been referred to as an expat.
Yeah.
So, and I can understand why, even though, like, here in Valencia now is a big topic. Over the last couple of years, Valencia received a lot of good publicity for quality of life.
Yeah.
It's been named European Green Capital for 2024. I think Forbes put it like for 3 years in a row, best city in the world for quality of life. So over the last like 3-4 years, lot of people from northern countries, a lot of people from the US, from Canada, from Australia, they've been moving here. And a lot of these people have been bringing their expat salary, let's call it like this. So they weren't really, I don't want to say that they're not bringing anything to the community because it's not true, but like for the people originally from Valencia, they see that you're coming here, you're disrupting a bit the environment, sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. So like the sentiment in Valencia towards expats is a bit frowned upon. And for us, like, we created our business here, so our organization here, so we feel like we are kind of Valencianos.
There's no expat money.
Yeah, and we also like we live here, we work here, our son goes to school here,
Yeah.
you know, like all this kind of stuff. So we see ourselves as people that are staying here. At the same time, also like part of growing up and having always more experience that you had in the bag is that there were a lot of places that I personally lived, me and my wife lived together in, where we felt at home, and at some point we were ready to move on. So I don't see it right now in the foreseeable future for Valencia. So like for me, I see ourselves staying here for as long as we want to and for as long as we feel like this could be home.
Yeah.
Uh,
They also gives a bit of peace of mind. Don't you think?
yeah, definitely. But it was a big change. Like I was a bit of a globetrotter for 7 years. And even though I would feel at home somewhere, in the back of my mind, I was always like, but after this, but after that, but if this happen, then I can move somewhere else. Like, I lived in Scotland for 1 year, in Glasgow, and I was there doing a master, and at some point, it really felt like home. Like, if I have to say, from all the places that I lived in, which one felt the most like home, it was Glasgow. Like, the people were amazing, the city was amazing, was doing a lot of cool things there. And when I finished my master, because I was studying, I really thought like, I'm gonna stay. I was working while studying, so like I already have a job that maybe is not the job that I want to do in the future, but I have some financial stability.
Yeah.
I like my house, my apartment. I like the people that I'm hanging out with. I like the city, so I think I might stay. And 3 months later, I was living in Florence because something else came up. It was another master that in that moment really got me like, okay, this is what I want to do. And Glasgow stopped feeling like home. I mean, I still like it holds a very special place in my heart, all the people that I met there and the city. I'm always telling my wife that I want to bring her there. She'd never been. It's really like a big part of me, the year that I spent there, but
Just for a weekend, right?
yeah. Yeah,
Not too
the
late.
weather is not as this one for my wife is even more important than me. So
I'm sorry, I'm gonna grab my phone because I'm
Sure.
grabbing a quote that I was sent to. Because actually Ben, who was previous on the bench, he's from Scotland, and he shared a quote about home. He said, "Home is not where you were born. Home is where all your attempts to escape cease." And this quote is by Najib Mahfouz. So I was like, wow, okay. You mentioned the word home. So I was
Yeah.
like, home is where all your attempts to escape cease. Who knows?
yeah,
You escaped to Florence from Glasgow.
yeah, I wouldn't say that I escaped. Like
There are
I felt
opportunities.
I felt like the what I wanted. Also because of the Brexit, like I work a lot with European institutions, and I don't think the European Union is perfect as it is, but I think that it should exist, in my opinion. So like also the Brexit was a big part of like, okay, but what I want to do, it's gonna be really difficult here. Like they will have very, very limited opportunities here to do what I want to. And maybe I don't feel ready yet to give up a huge part of opportunities for just to stay here. So it was on for a while, and I didn't like it really. Like Florence happened to me because I wasn't looking for it. Just, but as is a bit in the spirit of this podcast, like you know, the people you meet, the connection you make.
Yeah.
One of the people that I grew more fond about in Glasgow really like sparked in me this this will to pursue this idea of working with European institution or working for like a goal of ideally unity and peace and no borders. Again, European Union is not at all like that now, but like this idea, no, to try to contribute to this. And it was there in the back of my mind, like working me off, like, yeah, but this is home, but if you want to do this, and like this person was...
That was your other mission.
Yeah, probably. But thanks for the quote, it was really inspiring.
Yeah, but also I think that also defines what Valencia is, maybe escaping the chaos, chaotic life in Rome, and being more present and have more attention for each other in a city like Valencia, which I can recall actually being here. This is my third or fourth time. That's why I also came back here, because I think it feels the same way for me here, especially now that I have a family.
Yeah.
And you run a company here, an NGO.
Yeah.
What is it all about? Could you share a bit about it?
Yeah, sure. So we founded, me, my wife, and another friend of us. We founded this NGO. It's called Asociación Uno. We work with mostly European funds, but we're also looking for different things. And what we do is that we try to work to foster social inclusion. Also, we try. So let's say the thing that we work most on are social inclusion of marginalized groups, trying to boost sustainability and to teach sustainability. And try to help people develop social emotional intelligence skills.
Okay.
So these are like the three main goals that we have. And we do this through projects. So like we choose a topic, we try to create a partnership with other organizations, mostly from abroad, so like to create this transnational connection. And we ask for funds to either the European Commission, the Spanish government, the Comunidad Valenciana. And if it gets approved, we try to work on this. And we had a project that was really successful, that it was about teaching people over 65 some art. So like in our group, we went for painting as a way of expressing themselves, to try to battle like the social exclusion that usually people that go after retirement and people over 65, 70, they face. So like trying to find new ways of expressing yourself to get back in society. It was really, really, really nice. Like the people in our group over 65, they really love us. So like they've been to our place like last week. The project ended like last year, but like we went for lunch together. They came to our home to see the place. So it created a really nice connection. And also they met like participants from Italy, Ireland, and Spain. Nice. They met with each other, and they traveled to the other countries. So you like even if they.
So the project was not only here in Valencia?
No, it was in Valencia, Naples, and Dublin. So like the people from Naples...
Like the exchange, and that's why it's
exactly
transnational. Okay.
And the people from Naples like came here, and they didn't speak Spanish or English. Our participants didn't speak Italian or English. Somehow they really connected, they really bonded. And like last week, one of the participants told us that she's been in touch with 3 participants from the Italian group, and that they want to go visit them in Naples. Like making friends at 70 and something, no?
And then travel, huh?
And then travel, so it's really...
I see your smile on your face. It does a lot, huh?
It's why we do these things for, no? So like trying to spark connection and to bring people together. Yeah. So yeah, and it's also like part of like the name Uno for the organization. It means one, both in Italian, that we are from, and Spanish. And the idea behind it's really like this. There are things in life that we think are really important, like as we said, like social inclusion, sustainability. And they like no one can work at them alone, but at the same time, society at large cannot solve these problems if it leaves someone behind. So like there is this interconnection between the one as a single person and the one as a community that you cannot change it alone if you are not involved in your community, and your community cannot fix it if it doesn't involve everyone inside of it. So
Unity.
this, yes, unity, exactly. This reminder that we are one.
That's one of the most beautiful names to be thought of in the story behind Uno.
Thanks.
No, very good, very good. Yeah, something I feel. Yeah, it's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also something to say, especially regarding your projects, has something about loneliness, because also a lot of elderly are lonely.
Yeah.
So especially that connection, or having that sense of I still belong to this world and still have something to add or value. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That you will always have. Like the
Yeah.
idea behind it's also the idea of lifelong learning, no? So like I will always have something to give. Maybe I still have to learn it also at 70, at 75, at 80. There are a lot of studies now that you can still learn, like neuroplasticity in the brain. It works up until the day you die. So you can always learn, you can always do something new, you can always connect, you can always learn new names of new people and new stories, so
Without remembering, without remembering them. Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. Yeah, they start making notes, like having post-its everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, whatever works, you can still learn it then. Maybe you need a bit more time to learn it, but you can still do it, and maybe you need a little bit of more time to learn to do something new. In this example of our project, like to paint, maybe when you were younger, in 3 classes, you were able to do something. Now you need 7.
Yeah.
But still, like it's always there, and you should never stop looking for it.
Beautiful. Yeah. Think of The Hague next time you do a project like this.
I would love to. Actually, in the Netherlands, I've been only to Amsterdam twice. Once for 27 hours. I was living in Luxembourg at the time, and I just drove there with a few friends, spent one night, and then drove back. And then for a project, we've been there with my son and my wife in August last year, 2023. The project was about using inclusive language to fight discrimination of people with disabilities.
Okay.
And we were with always an Italian partner from Milan, an amazing organization called Fight the Stroke.
Fight the Stroke, wow.
They are incredible. And also another very good partner from the Netherlands called ILA, that is International Labour Association.
Okay.
So we were trying to see like the effect, why people use certain kind of languages, and the effect that we can do, those can have on people with disabilities, like to create stereotypes, discrimination, this kind of stuff. And so we've been to Amsterdam for this for a week. I think it was a week. And actually we were staying right outside Amsterdam because we chose the wrong week to be there. There was I think it was MotoGP or something like this. Not in Amsterdam, but right outside.
Formula One.
Maybe Formula One, yeah.
Zandvoort.
Yeah, so it was Formula One, and the city was packed, and we couldn't find a place to stay inside the city. So we were like 3 kilometers outside, really close to a river. There was a small lake, a lot of green, a lot of animals.
Okay.
Like, we loved it.
What was it called?
I don't remember right now. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I don't remember right now because it was really like a small fraction, like those that every 200 meters it changed fraction, and it's all fractions of 300 people living. But it was really, really, really nice.
Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, let me know what it was. I'm curious now which part of it is. Patrizio, we're heading towards the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I already noticed I could talk to you for hours.
Thanks.
I have
Same
to
here.
gotta switch off the camera first, I think. Um, I actually have two more questions.
Okay.
Sounds serious, which is not the case. But I'm thinking of which one I should ask first, which I think is a nice close-off. Um, in line with what you just said about your project, maybe also about your family life. First question is, what is it you dream of? I would love to know. I give you a second to think about that. And secondly, why should I move to Valencia?
Okay. Nice, nice.
You can choose which one you want to answer first.
Okay, let's start. So why should you move to Valencia? I still need more time for the other one. But so very, very nice weather, very nice quality of life. You can walk everywhere, you can bike everywhere. People are really warm here. It's Valencia is it's a city with a heart. I I lived in a lot of places, and in the places that had heart, I really felt at home. Like as I said, Glasgow, also Las Palmas in Gran Canaria. But you can feel it, I think, immediately when a city doesn't have heart. Like now, maybe I don't want to do like bad publicity to some places, but like I lived in Hong Kong for a while, and for what I was looking for at the time, because it was 8 years ago where I was living in Hong Kong, for what I was looking for at the time, there was really just human connection. It felt empty to me. It's a wonderful city. You can have a lot of fun in it. I also met some very nice people there where they were still friends, but like it felt empty on that side. When I moved to Glasgow, where I moved to Valencia, I immediately felt the heart of the city. And I think it's something that, I mean, it's the fourth time that you're here. So I think you can feel it too. It's in the long run, I think it makes the difference. Like that you go out and you can talk to anyone, and people will be nice and welcoming and open to help you, um, and really open to let you in their life, like it happened to us with the people over 65 of our project. No, they really let us in. Like we spent Easter with one of those people last year. So it's I mean I can talk about the Turia Park, 10 kilometers long park. I mean, come on, very cool.
It's a nice 10K run, yeah.
Yeah, it's the ciudad del running, Valencia. Like
yeah.
it's all flat, so running it's easy. It's easy to stay in shape. You have like this weather, 300 something days per year, so
Okay, I
it's
get it, Patrizio. I get
an
it.
amazing.
I get it.
You should move here.
Yeah,
Come on.
Okay, good. I'm convinced.
Okay.
And I feel I've already made friends now.
Yeah, absolutely. And regarding the first question that you asked, so
Yeah.
what are my dreams at the
Or
moment?
one particular dream. Doesn't have to be.
So if I want to say like something like a personal, I wouldn't even say dream, but maybe goal, something that I'm working a lot about myself and my personality over the last few years, and that I feel like I'm getting closer but not enough, is to like let go of things that I cannot control. And I've been like ruled by things that were not in my control all my life, like external judgment on the workplace, in school, at university, like whatever would make me feel happy was always outside of me, always. And lately, like I think since the pandemic, like I got really philosophical, really close to some kind of thoughts, and it helped a lot. And I feel like this helped me also to make the choices that brought us here today on this bench. So to evaluate more things that I can do about my life, like choose my environment, my spouse, where to live together, what does it matter for us in life, So I would say this as a goal for me that I feel like I'm I'm working on it in a good way. Still not there, but it's maybe I will never be there, but I can master it more and more and more and more, so that every time that something outside of me tries to put me off balance, I can rebalance real quick, hopefully. And and then all the other like stuff, like not to lead to pass on to my son any trauma of mine, like this kind of stuff. Be a good parent, be a good leader on the job, and basically like trying to bring myself out there in the most how can I say, like in the most pure way. Like I am this is
what you see is what you get.
like trying to be as much as myself as possible out there. I don't know if it was a good answer or not. I'll let you judge that.
No, I don't judge. I think it's something you would like to share, and I think
Yeah.
it's something very personal. So I want to say thank you, because it also takes a lot of courage and vulnerability to share these kind of
And
things.
therapy.
And therapy.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of therapy to share. But yeah, I think that's the beauty of it. That's why you made the decision to reach out and to sit next to me and share your story, because it's not made or created or I don't know. It's real. It's what you are. It's what happened to you. It's what you've done in the past, and what are you doing now, and what are you gonna go do next. So that is something that I feel and sense, and that's beautiful. So
And if I can just add one thing, because as I told you, like I really resonated with the episode you did in London with Marta. During my period abroad, there were a lot of very, very lonely moments and difficult moments, very tough, that humbled me a lot. But they were necessary, like to me. I felt like it was necessary. I was looking for it. And just, I hope that, I also wanted to share this because I like, completely kind of unrelated, but like I graduated in history. So like I really recognize the power of a story, or like storytelling, the way we tell a story, and how it can help people. So maybe the people that look at your podcast, they're trying to travel, they don't know if they want to, they feel uncomfortable, and I just want to share, hopefully, that there is a lot of life on the other side of the discomfort, and that maybe if someone is on the edge or it's going through this discomfort, and your podcast is helping them to share like these stories of people trying new things. If this could help, it would have helped me when especially during like the first couple of years of traveling and the lonely times that I had. Your podcast would have helped me, so I hope that your podcast and my story in your podcast can help someone else.
Yeah. And I think it doesn't matter in which phase of life you are, whether you're a student, which you shared, whether you're ambitious and starting your career, or starting your own business, or have a family. In all stages in life, you shared learnings and insights. So I think for different people with different backgrounds and different stages in life, I think a very, very useful and very insightful conversation. So I'm going to shake your hand. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was really
Grazie
nice.
y gracias.
Prego.
And of course, for the mental support next to the camera, thank you.
Yeah.
For everyone watching and listening, I hope you appreciated the sunshine in this episode here in Valencia. I had a great time, and I do think that this podcast works better in the sunshine than it does with -10. So, looking
you just
forward.
have to move here.
I just, getting close, Patrizio. Okay, you already convinced me. It's all a matter of time. Thanks. I say hasta luego. Wave to everyone over there, and catch you on the next public bench. Ciao.